Hello, fans, and welcome to the latest edition of the Midwest Donut Review Show. I'm Dave Leggett in St. Louis, Missouri, and that is my son out in Sacramento, California. Eric Leggett, how are you doing this fine morning?
I'm doing great. Did you say latest edition because you're not sure which episode we're on right now?
No, this is number 11.
Nope. Number 12.
We're at a dozen, cousin?
We're at a dozen.
Oh, man, a dozen donut shows. Life just gets better and better.
Mm-hmm. Especially because it is a nice fall fucking morning here in Sacramento. Finally.
Does that mean that you're under 100 degrees?
We are finally under 100 degrees. I got up and I put on pants and a hoodie to go outside. And my soul was warmed. I was so thrilled.
A hoodie in Sacramento. Good times.
Incredible.
Good times.
It's incredible.
Our overnight lows here in St. Louis are in the mid-50s. It's pretty glorious.
Are you up during the overnight?
Well, you know, the Blues played the Sharks last night, so here in the Midwest, I didn't go to bed till 12:30, so I sat outside for a couple minutes with our pup, Millie, so to make sure we don't have any overnight accidents. One final run through the yard, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, it was glorious. And a Friday morning, no work, check mark.
Yep.
Donuts, double check mark. How much better can this day get? It's all downhill after the show.
It really is. This is the peak, I think.
I hope it is. So as we normally do, quick reminder. Eric and I both try to buy the same kinds of donuts, him on the West Coast, me in the Midwest, and then we compare and contrast, tell you how big it is, how much it costs, where to get them, and whether or not you should go to that joint. And so as we kick off all of our shows now, we have our donut news of the week. Eric,
Yes.
What have you found bizarre for us today?
Okay. So I don't know how bizarre this is, but I felt bad the last 2 weeks. I'm bringing, people trying to, scam people with donuts and stuff. So I felt bad. I wanted to bring something good and fun. I don't know how bizarre this is, but it's now, like I said, starting to feel like fall here in Sacramento. So I wanted some good fall stuff. And there's a fall treat that's donut. The apple cider donut is very
yes, absolutely.
fall forward.
Yes.
It falls in the pumpkin category of now that
Except
the weather's cooler.
You hate pumpkin.
Yes, I do hate pumpkin flavored stuff. That's gross. But I do like an apple cider donut. I like an apple cider donut. So this article is from NJ.com. Apple cider donut beer is autumn in a glass at this New Jersey brewery.
Okay.
So I read that.
Interesting take.
And I'm very in. New Jerseyans can find an apple cider donut ale at Source Farmhouse Brewery in Colts Neck, collaborating with Freehold's Battleview Orchards using their popular apple cider and apple cider donuts. We love to work with local businesses and support each other. Battleview Orchards has been around since the early 1900s and was one of the first orchards in the state. Leslie Miranda, the taproom lead at Source Farmhouse Brewery, told NJ Advanced Media. So, apple cider donut as an ale, pretty awesome. I'm very into that. But that's also not their only collaboration.
Okay.
They have also created an apple cider donut shake beer, which sounds so good.
Shake beer.
It's a shake IPA. And not only did they collaborate with Battleview Orchards, they collaborated with Freehold's Jersey Freeze, which they've put in parentheses for us, Bruce Springsteen's favorite ice cream shop.
Okay.
So it's probably pretty good if the boss goes there.
You think he could pick and choose which ice cream he would love, so...
Yeah, probably. They incorporate the apple cider donuts directly into the mash, and in that mash goes all the malts, the oats. Then during the boil, they add all the other components like the brown and milk sugar, which is a compound of lactose to add a creamy mouthfeel, Miranda said. Then during fermentation is when they add the apple cider itself. So yeah, this sounds incredible, and I want it very badly.
So what we need to do is a little bit of research between now and our next show to see if we have either apple cider donuts available to us here,
Yes.
or in Sac, and or maybe apple cider beer. So
apple cider donut beer.
Apple cider donut beer, yeah. So I will. I'll put my thinks to it over this next week, and man, maybe we could have a live report on something like that. Now, if you would have said that was John Bon Jovi's favorite ice cream, I would have probably vomited on screen. Cause
exactly. I
F
wouldn't
that.
bring that to you. I would not bring that to you.
You're
Come
a good son, man. Good son.
on.
Raised
And
right.
There are also some cool flavors at this brewery. Just regularly specialty beers such as Creamsicle Ice Cream Milkshake IPA, Berry Crush IPA, or their Death by Chocolate Stout. So this seems like a brewery that knows what they're doing in this regard.
Wow, that's yeah. So if you are in New York or New Jersey, you need to head over to this place, check it out, and then you need to post that comment and let everybody know if it's BS or if it's as good as it sounds.
And then I'll send you my address, and you can send me some.
Just mail beer across the country, please.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
All right, that's the donut news of the week. Here is what I have found all across this great land of America. Dunwell Donuts is in Brooklyn, and they only make vegan donuts to begin. So they're a little nichey and they're a little frou-frou. And just to up the ante, their big one is the black licorice donut.
Oh,
so
God.
One of the most hated candies of all time has been incorporated into a donut. So you better really love it, man. They also have an Earl Grey tea donut and a green tea and ginger donut. So frou-frou joint in Brooklyn, but man, talk about drawing a line in the sand. Black licorice donut.
There's no way they make more than like 10 of those a day.
The owners like black licorice, so that's why.
Disgusting.
Another one, a joint called Gordo's, Dough, Gordo's in Austin, has their slogan for their shop: big, period, fat, period, donuts, period. So
yeah.
they are putting it right out there. Their big one is called the Porkies: Canadian bacon, jalapeno jelly, and cream cheese. That is
sounds pretty good,
bold.
honestly.
That is bold as hell. Also, they have another one called the Mama's Donut. It is a donut, a yeast-raised donut that is filled with yellow cake batter and then covered in chocolate icing. So you're doing the donut batter, and then you're jamming some yellow cake batter in there.
Yeah, that sounds very good as well.
That I don't know if that's a breakfast donut. That's a dessert donut.
Oh, absolutely.
And finally, I am sure you're already familiar with this place in L.A., Trejo's Coffee and Donuts. Danny Trejo, of course, he opened his taco joint, and now he has a donut place also. The big seller is called the Nacho Donut. It's a yeast donut. It has jalapenos, chives, hot sauce, and cheddar cheese. Wowza.
Yeah, that's a nacho.
That's a take. They also have the Mango Nada. It is a raised yeast dough, mango glaze, tahine, mango sauce, and a chili candy piece.
Oh yeah, that sounds excellent.
So, Danny, of course, has been in a ton of great movies. And the last time I saw Danny Trejo, he was in a show called Better Things, and he was just brilliant. Better Things is about a single mom. It just wrapped up its 5th season. The show is now over. She's a single mom picking up her kids from school, and Danny Trejo is also picking up his kids from school, and she is a B actress in the show, and they used to work at shows, old movies together before he hit it big, and it's just very genuine. So ever in LA, man, stop by Danny's place and get a taco or a donut. So interesting takes.
I only know him from Spy Kids, if I'm being completely honest.
Did you ever see Heat?
Nope.
With Al Pacino and...
I've heard of it.
Okay, yeah. And he's also Machete. He was a vigilante in Machete. Not hard to believe.
I thought that was his name in Spy Kids.
Oh, I don't know. But the name of the movie was... Anyway, so Eric, where have you ventured out today for our review show?
I went to Station Donuts, 9205 Folsom Boulevard here in Sacramento, California. Very small, unassuming shop. Pretty packed again. And also, shout out to the one dude working the counter there. Just one guy in there doing everything. And he was fucking on top of it. This is not his first time working by himself on a busy Friday morning. He had this shit figured out. So shout out to that guy. He was awesome. And so the glazed donut, first one we get, was a really fucking good glazed donut. It was big. That's the thing that I really liked about it. This was 4 1/4 inches across and about 2 inches tall. So it was a big, thick donut, and it was super fluffy on the inside, too. And the glaze, not only did it taste so sweet and so good, what had happened was, I don't know if you can kind of see it when I held it up, but the inside of, like, the hole, it had connected and formed like a glazed disc on the inside of the donut. It was incredible. And because this was, I'd say, the closest we've gotten to glaze on the bottom of the donut on this show, at least for me, without specifically, like, turning the donut over and glazing it. Like, there was so much glaze that it did reach to a lot of parts on the bottom that not a lot of other donuts have gotten to. And not only was this a big, thick, fluffy donut with a very good glaze and a lot of glaze on it, it's only set me back like $1.30.
Okay.
I got a half dozen today, and it was like $8.60, I think. Like, I think that's the best value I've gotten for donuts so far on this show. Usually
sorry.
I go...
Did you say you bought 6 donuts?
Yeah.
Are you sharing those 6 donuts with anyone?
No, why would I do that?
Will they make it through Friday? That's the big question.
Yeah. I get breakfast for today and tomorrow.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So you're taking one for the team here by buying 6, when really you probably only need 3 or 4.
Exactly. It's for the people who, you know, I review for the gamers. That's for the people that, I can put down 5 or 6 donuts. Absolutely, you can.
Yeah.
And I'm here to help. So yeah, this is a really good glazed donut, big and fluffy on the inside. I want to give this one like a 4 even, just a flat 4. I think it's a very, very, it's an above average glazed donut. Absolutely.
Okay. So here is my big surprise. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
Today, I went to the Donut Cupboard. They are
Very fun name.
1115 North Highway 67 in Florissant, also known as North Lindbergh. The donuts are $1.25 a piece. If you get 6, it's 6 for $5.99. So it goes down to $1 a donut.
Wow.
You had mentioned how big your glazed donut was.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is 5 inches around, 1 3/4 inches tall. This is a beast.
Yeah.
And to me, this isn't one of those beautiful glazed donuts. This is like a rustic donut. I was really intrigued with the way the glaze set up on this because top, bottom. I've got my top and bottom glazed donut. Donut Cupboard has run to the front of the pack, top and
Let's
bottom. Great glaze. Sweet, but not sickly sweet. It's almost a vanilla glaze. The dough inside, light, super light and fluffy. I love when you bite into a glazed donut and it crushes. Mm-hmm. Where it just it squeezes down to a tiny little piece because it's so fluffy. And that's what this donut is. It is just, a tad dry on the inside. Maybe because it's so big, but the glaze makes up for it. The flavor makes up for it. Top and bottom, this is a 4.3 glazed donut. I am having such great luck with getting glazed donuts. 4.3, probably my second highest out of a dozen shows. Mm-hmm. If you're going Donut Cupboard, if you're the guy who brings in a dozen glazed donuts to work from the Donut Cupboard, and everybody's like, oh, no variety, huh, Bob? And then they eat one of these, they're like, Bob, you did perfect. Here's a raise, here's a bonus.
Yep.
Great.
Here's your promotion. Great
glazed donut. Way to start it off, Donut Cupboard. Up second for us today is what?
A glazed old-fashioned donut. And again, mine was excellent.
What is the key for you on an old-fashioned?
I like a crispness that's not crunchy. I like the crown. I want some weight to it. I don't want it to be buttery soft like a yeast donut, but I don't want to crunch through it. And that's exactly what I got with this old fashioned. The glaze on this, not only is it super good like the glazed donut, it's real thick on there, which I really like. It almost like, I don't know how appetizing this will sound, but it almost looked like waxy almost. Like you could see like in the light the glaze like shining on the donut. It was so good. A really great vanilla cake as well. And sometimes with cake donuts they could be a little too dense, and I did not get that at all with this old fashioned. It was really light. The sweetness of the vanilla cake matched really well with the sweetness of the glaze. This was a really good old fashioned. Sometimes with old fashions, they're a cake donut, they're a little thicker. They can kind of like knock you out a bit. It can be one of those donuts where you go up, get 2 donuts and a coffee, and like that's your breakfast. But I like when old fashions are lighter enough that it's like any other donut. And that's really what I got with this. It wasn't too thick and heavy. It was still a light cake with a thick glaze on it, which I think is kind of a hard balance to get, but I think they did it. So I want to give this one a 4.2.
How big was this donut?
This was about, what did I put? It's about 4 inches across.
Okay.
Again, for a cake donut. Cake donuts are usually smaller.
Yes.
So for an old-fashioned cake donut to still have that kind of size, I think is really, really good. So yeah, 4.2 for that glazed old-fashioned. That was excellent.
Wow, your stop today has been great, and so has mine. So for my old fashioned, they don't do the round; they do the sticks. It's the stick old fashioned, and it's a buttermilk. So I've seen it at places, but we've not been doing old fashioned reviews. So this is the first stick old fashioned I've had, and they at the donut cupboard they do them so well. Again, they're using that same glaze, which is excellent. The buttermilk gives it a little bit of tang, so it's not a sickly sweet dough. It's got a little bite to it. It's very moist. The batter is a moist batter. It's not dried out. It's not over fried. It is crispy on the outside. We've talked about it before. The old fashioned for me is one of my Jones donuts. Really love a good old fashioned donut. And this is a really good old fashioned donut. It is light and fluffy, and you talked about old fashioned donuts can be really heavy on the inside. Light and fluffy, great flavor, great glaze. Now, this is the expensive specialty donut, and it's $1.45. So, if that's expensive, then you've never purchased donuts before, because that is a great price for a great donut. This is a 4.1. So, 2 4+ ratings right out of the gate. What a great start for the donut cupboard. That is a really outstanding buttermilk old-fashioned stick donut. Really great. And so for our third donut today, we actually changed to find the same flavor today. And our third donut we're reviewing is a chocolate iced custard donut. So tell me about your joint.
So my custard fill was a Long John. It was not the usual round shell donut. This is a Long John filled with custard. This was a very good donut. The chocolate icing on this was super good. I believe it was last week when you were talking about like a fudgy chocolate icing. That's what this was. It was a good thickness to it. It definitely, they didn't skimp on it, which I really enjoy. But the unfortunate thing about filling a Long John is it's a Long John, so sometimes it's kind of hard to fill the whole thing. Now, I will say, this one was 7.5 inches long. And this is probably one of the longest ones I've seen in Sacramento. Get your mind out of the fucking gutter, you freak. What? No.
I guess some things can be taken out of context. I'm not that kind of person, but somebody else might.
Sounds like you are. No, it sounds like you're taking it out of context.
And you're saying
this donut was 7.5 inches long.
Thank you. Yes. Well saved.
And this is the longer Sacramento Long John that I've seen here. Most of them are not this big. So, I think that's another point for it. The unfortunate part is the whole thing was not filled. It was pretty clear that they went in on each side to fill, but they just didn't get it all the way. So there were, I'd say, maybe 3 or 4 bites in the middle of the Long John where I didn't get any filling, which is unfortunate because the filling was really good. It was a really nice custard filling. But the good thing is the chocolate icing was so good is that like those first 2 bites where you didn't get any filling where you're like, I mean, this is not a deal breaker because the chocolate icing's still really good. So I think I want to give this one a 3.8. This is a really solid. I think if it was not filled at all, this would be a super solid chocolate Long John. And I think the filling does elevate that, but again, I think baseline for filled donuts, it's got to be filled all the way. That's just how it has to be.
That's not the same $1.35 price, I'm gonna assume.
No, this one was I think around $1.50, $1.40.
Still
Not bad at all.
No. I should have taken that into consideration for my glazed donut. If you can get 6 of these, I'm changing it right now.
What?
I'm going back. That 4.3 is a 4.4.
Wow.
For a $1 donut, glazed top and bottom.
$1 donut.
Yeah, that's a 4.4. On to where we should be in the show. My chocolate custard-filled donut, 4.5 inches by 3.5 inches, is a little bit oblong, 2 inches tall, so the filling pumps this thing up. Big donut, $1.45 because it's specialty, and the first thing is lots of chocolate icing, but it's not a good chocolate fudge icing. It's a chocolate sweet icing. So you're getting that sort of sugar granulated chocolate, and it's a step down. This thing could have been way over the top with a great chocolate glaze, but icing too sweet, just not chocolatey enough. It does have plenty of filling from the first bite in. I haven't finished the whole thing, but lots of filling in there. The custard is really good custard. Vanilla flavor, not a sweet custard, but a mouthful vanilla custard that's really excellent.
Yeah, you got a mouthful of custard?
It's not, you can't turn it back on me, fella.
No, I just did. You got a mouthful of custard over there? Maybe bite slower. Okay, this is starting to get creepy. I don't like this.
Again, a little bit of the issue, just a little bit. The inside is dry. Not desert dry, not awful dry. It's just a step down. Raise the bar with those first 2 donuts and this one. It's a pretty good chocolate iced custard donut. Pretty good. So it's a 3.5. Again, would you be unhappy to get a dozen of these and share them with your office mates? Not at all. And they would enjoy them too, but it's not their strength. Their glaze, their buttermilk dough, the glazed dough, really strong. This one, it's just not in their wheelhouse. That's all. It's a really good donut. Solid donut, 3.6. But there are better choices at the donut cupboard.
As a donut shop, you gotta serve stuff that's not exactly in your wheelhouse.
Yes,
Just have variety. You need variety. And not every donut is gonna be a 10 out of 10. If it is, that's completely insane.
Also, when the owners of Donut Cupboard watch this show, it gives them the opportunity to go back and change the recipe and improve that donut.
That's the best part. You go, well, we've nailed the old fashioned, we've nailed the glaze, so we're just going to keep doing that. Now, how do we improve the lesser ones?
That's exactly right.
Because a donut, look, if you only served your 10 out of 10 donuts, that donut shop, I don't think would get a very high rating. Because you need variety in a donut shop. And even if all your donuts are 10 out of 10, but you only serve 6 types of donuts, I'm sorry. That's not a great shop.
And there's a easily 30 different style of donuts at the Donut Cupboard.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Fucking
I also...
excellent name.
It's,
Excellent name for a donut shop.
It's not on today's list, but I got a cinnamon twist donut. I haven't had it yet, but it's about 9 inches long, and you can just see the cinnamon swirls through the entire thing already. I am so jacked for that. After I eat these 3, I got another big ass donut to eat. So this Friday's getting better and better.
Yeah.
And so what I wanted to say is, for example, we have done crullers on other review shows. They don't offer a cruller. But if you've got 30 other kinds, I don't think you need to do a cruller. And maybe they've done them and they're like, we don't do this donut great. And it's a little bit of finesse to do a cruller. And so go to your strengths, play to your strengths. Since you have the glaze and the old-fashioned nailed, work on the other ones a little bit. And man, that Donut Cupboard, great place to stop in Florissant. So if you're anywhere in the area.
I will also say the same for Station Donuts. It is very unassuming. It has the facade of a lesser donut shop. It really does. I've been to some lesser donut shops that kind of are in this kind of area, like strip mall kind of thing. This it is elevated over its facade. Absolutely.
Well, good. We're out there fighting for the working man.
Exactly.
The mom and pops. I mean, really, there's only mom and pops, man. If you're doing the chains, come on, man. We can do better.
We can.
If you need to buy 300 donuts for the soccer league, okay, do a chain.
But even then, just look. If you know you got to do that, call your local donut shop. They will 100% be so down to do that for you. Call them the day before, maybe 2 days before, and be like, "Hey, I'm doing a donut thing. I need 300 glazed donuts." Not only will they most likely 100% do it for you, I bet they'll give you a fucking discount. You think if you go to Krispy Kreme, they're going to just, as the computer tells them to do it. If you go to a local mom and pop, they're like, fuck yeah, we'll cut you a deal for 300 donuts.
And here's the other thing I go back to. For example, up until watching this show, if you never knew about the Donut Cupboard, and you're like, well, on Fridays I just go to Krispy Kreme because they have a drive-through and you can get a dozen real easy and fast. Those are tiny little donuts, and I guarantee you they're more than $1.25 a piece, or
Definitely.
$1 a piece. Instead, you can get a 5-inch behemoth for $1 that tastes amazing. Go to the mom and pops, people. Go to the mom and pops.
Always.
So we are going to close today's show with some trivia for Eric. Redeeming himself a little bit here and there. Let's see. I'm going to give you the easy one today. It has two names. Koblihi, meaning it has a hole, and the Vadolki means it has no hole. It is a Vadolki. Deep fried round yeast donut filled with jam and topped with powdered sugar. So this version of a jelly donut,
with powdered sugar.
Yes.
You usually see that with custard-filled donuts when you have that powdered sugar in them.
So a jam, Vadolki, no hole, Koblihi, hole.
Okay. So it's Europe for sure.
For sure, yes.
For sure, that's Europe.
Eastern Europe.
Eastern Europe. Latvia.
Czech Republic.
Fuck!
Okay, I mean, you're in the area.
I'm in the area.
This variation of a donut is called a puff puff.
Puff puff.
Also known as a mandeezy. a challah, or a buffloaf.
Oh my god. All of those names are giving me... Sorry.
That's okay.
I forgot to...
It is a yeast ball, deep fried, rolled in sugar, and served with a fruit dip, either strawberry or raspberry fruit dip. So a sugar yeast ball with some fruit dip. Puff puff. Puff puff. Challah.
Hey man, can I get a puff puff?
Challah.
That sounds...
Mandeezy. Buffloaf. These are all variations in the countries of this continent.
Okay. Is the continent South America?
It is not.
Fuck.
You're
Is
down
it
to
Asia?
You're down to 5. No, it is not.
Africa?
It is.
Okay.
So,
I want to say is it the southern part of Africa?
it is the western side of Africa.
Western side of Africa. I'm going to say Nigeria.
It is Nigeria. Ding, 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 ding. Ba-ba boom. Ba-ba boom. Well done, young man. Finally, our third.
What?
But it's so cool out there.
Nervous.
It's the pressure of the Donut Review Show, man.
Exactly.
Gulgula.
Gulgula.
Gulgula. It is a small donut ball, deep fried, and they use spices like fennel and...
If that was supposed to be a hint, I did not get it.
Okay.
You looked at me like that was supposed to give it away.
It may help when we get to the answer. Also, they use a type of cane sugar called a jaggery. So it's a little bit of sugar, but it's mostly a savory donut. So again, we've talked about America can over-sugar everything, whereas around the world we found a little less gluttonous, sugary flavor.
Yeah.
So this is another example. I will tell you that this country is a peninsula, which means it's surrounded on 3 sides by water.
Okay.
And it is home of the Himalayas.
Oh, no.
What country will you find the Himalayan mountains?
Oh, no. Now it's going to be even worse that I don't know. Is it India?
It is India!
Yes!
2 in a
Fuck
row.
yeah.
How many people bebopping around on the street knew where a puff puff was from or the Gulgula? Nobody. Until right now, we are here educating the people about donuts around the world.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. So that brings us to the end of show number 12. Another hoot, another big shout out to the Donut Cupboard in Florissant, Missouri. Excellent glaze, excellent old fashioned, really solid chocolate covered custard. And man, what a great way to start a Friday.
This is a very good 2 spots. Station Donuts, also a really good spot. This was a good episode for us.
And what do we need from our fans to up this show a little bit?
Some engagement. We
Yes.
need some comments, likes the video, subscribe, Apple Podcasts on YouTube, and just share this. Share it, with your friends on Facebook or Instagram, wherever social media you may use, or just share it out in real life. Maybe you're catching up with an old friend, and the conversation has come to an awkward lull, and you don't know what to say or where to go. And you go, hey, I've been listening to this great hilarious, fun new podcast called Midwest Donuts. Let's give this latest episode a listen. And now you've continued the conversation, and you've connected with this old friend in a new and exciting way.
We're like the cat videos for donut review shows.
Exactly.
We're laugh out loud.
Anytime, anywhere. We're like American Ninja Warrior in that sense, where it's like you can be doing anything at at a party, and you just need something on. Throw on Midwest Donut Review. People are gonna be into it.
Who honestly doesn't like talking about donuts?
Exactly.
Does it ever get old? Nobody.
And if someone at this party goes, "You guys talking about donuts?" Well, now you know who the fuck to kick out. When the party gets real and fun, you know who's gotta go to get it there.
Our first guest who will be escorted out will be the guy
who doesn't
questioning.
like donuts.
That is absolutely the truth.
You don't want that guy at your party. Fuck no.
As a quick side note, I have made contact with Jim Gaffigan's talent agency and made our request to have Mr. Gaffigan join us for a few moments. He's a donut aficionado. It appears to be. We don't know for sure, but we will definitely grill him on this show to make sure that he's not, a poser about donuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's our first step, and also Will Ferrell's still on our radar. So bigger and better things for the Midwest Donut Review Show. So that wraps up our show number 12. And so do you know what the title of our next show will be already, Eric?
Baker's Dozen.
Baker's Dozen. Baker's Dozen. Now, here is an interesting story. There's a donut shop in the St. Louis market called a Baker's Dozen. So,
you might have to go there.
How can I not put those two dovetail together?
Might have to.
Yeah. So, a glazed donut and 2 mystery donuts to come on our next show. Thank everybody for joining us today. Eric, have a great weekend. I'm Dave from St. Louis. That's Eric from Sacramento. See you very, very soon, everybody. Thanks. Bye.
See you all next week.